Hi, this is Julian, and I'm on part 3 of my 3-part series. It did start off as a 3-part series. I wasn't sure how many parts there would be, but it looks like 3 parts is sufficient. Part 1 was demolition, part 2 was framing, and part 3 is the final plywood cutting and painting and doing whatever finish work that needs to be finished. So those are the 3 parts. Also notice that as I do these videos, I'm not shaved. In some cases I have shaved, in some cases I'm not shaved, but you know, this is what you get. And on weekends I typically do not shave, so, or weekdays whenever I do these projects. What you get is what you get when I decide to work. So in this particular case, I'm just noticing that I'm not shaved. Any case, we'll get started, we'll get finished, and this project will be wrapped. Here's the plywood I had cut at Home Depot. I know I've got to trim it off, and I use a jigsaw to cut it, but we're gonna measure the top, the bottom of the openings, and then use a pencil to draw out the circle for the bottom, and then drop in the panel. I wanted to do this without the table saw, but turns out it's 14.5 inches wide, and I cut these boards at 15.5 because the inside is wider than the outside. So I have to cut down the outside piece 1/2 inch. Can't do it with the jigsaw, it's going to be too wobbly, so I'm going to have to do it with a table saw. It's not an awesome table saw, it's an old table saw. I set the blade to 1/2 inch, a little bit over 1/2 inch, which is the thickness of this plywood. I'm trying not to cut myself, and slowly but surely all the tools are showing up. I move the fence, basically set it to a little over about 1 inch is what I'm going to cut off, and set this straight on the back. It's basically got 1 inch at the front, 1 inch at the back, so we're good. 2 things here. One is this bucket. I don't know if this will even work, but I want to catch the wood when it comes over here so it doesn't flop to the ground. And second, I had to turn the table around because of my length of my extension cord to the plug. So it was facing the other way, it wasn't long enough. So I could go get an extension cord, but I'm not. Before putting that through the table saw, I decided I would cut off the edge here just to make the piece more manageable and not as long. So I'm going to cut off with the jigsaw first, then go to the table saw. Before cutting, I checked this width or the size of the blade, and I realized that it's not quite enough. So I'm going to raise the blade a little bit to go over the top of this. So that's good that I checked that first. And second, the bucket seems to be working out just fine to catch the wood. So we're gonna go for it. Okay, we cut it. It wasn't easy. A little stressful because I don't like the blade and I don't like the kickback, and this long piece here did a little bit of kickback, but I stayed out of the way. So it's cut. I don't think I need to cut any more with the table saw. The bucket worked out really good. So if you're cutting on the floor and you use a bucket, it makes a nice place to receive the wood. Well, look at that. It actually fits. First try, it's there. I'm gonna add the molding, which will look really nice, but here's a solid piece of wood. And I'm gonna cut the inside. And once I have both pieces cut, then I'll fire up the air compressor, which is a small air compressor for the nail gun, and do that. I don't know that I'll get to the finished work today, but at least the doorway will be closed. Now on the inside, I'm going to trace with this pencil where I need to use the jigsaw to cut out the part for the hole, okay? And then so I'm going to go do that next, and then I'll work on the inside piece. I don't think I have to use a table saw because this piece is wider. I just have the jigsaw to cut it. So the jigsaw got away from me, and I slightly cut into the arch. I'm gonna have to use wood putty to fill that in, but Once it's wood putty and painted, you shouldn't see it. So once again, just getting it done. It's not bad once it's in, and you won't see that line at all. Nice. Okay, moving on to the inside. This fits perfectly in no table saw. So I took measurements on one side, had Home Depot cut both pieces, but the outside is 1 inch smaller because of the trim that's on the door. Okay, I'm going to cut the hole at the bottom, and then I'm going to fire up the nail gun. There you go. One more tool, the air compressor and the hose. We're going to start the air compressor over here. I don't know if I should have turned these things on so you can hear them or not hear them. I'm going to check. Do we have oil? Yeah, we still have some oil. This is what it sounds like. Okay, it's not bad. These are nailed in. Here's the opening. Here's the other side. And now we're going to do the trim and see how that looks. Well, I didn't pay close enough attention, and about 4 pieces, and this is the same as this, is the same as this, is not the same as this. And this, as you can see, is a different type of molding than this type of molding. And I don't know which one I should get at this point. I'm going to look, make a choice. I have to go back to Home Depot anyway. Either return 1 piece and get 1 piece, or return 3 and get 3 pieces. But either way, I need to go. So I'm going to take a look at this and decide what to do. Okay, after looking, this one is flat against the wall. I'm going to go with this. So I'm going to return these 3 because this gives a slight angle. When you set it in, it's got this pocket. I guess it's supposed to go on. Maybe there's supposed to be a cutout for that, but anyways, it leaves a gap. So it looks good, but not with the gap. So these 3 are going back. This one is, I'm going to keep this one. So that's it. I'm back at Home Depot to buy, I returned the 3. Now I'm here to buy 3 new ones. My luck, there won't be any in stock, but we'll see. So let's see. What did I get? I think this is the flat one, and this is the one with the lip. So I need to get these. Yes, solid on the back, full on the front. I need to find 3 of these, and then we'll be good. 1, 2, 3. All right. On my way. Now I have 4 identical pieces, and now I can start. So it's about 4 o'clock now. But these don't look, if the cuts are not hard, it's not so hard to put them up, but we'll see about the cuts. So to help me with the tape, I keep losing the ends. I use this clip to clip the measuring tape, and then I'm gonna pull it out to measure. But these are wobbly and they keep falling, so I'm using a clip. Okay, it's finished. A lot of cleanup to do, but overall, well, not finished, not primered or painted, but all the cutting and nailing is done. So the molding is in, and on the inside, the molding is in, the doggy door's in, the door closes, and we finally have a finished door and not a piece of plywood. Well, I've been painting the car and working on the car before my daughter gets home. But I thought I'd finish this project, which is put a coat of primer and then put a coat of paint. Unfortunately, the brush that I used before is hard as a rock. I'm not sure it's worth trying to save it, so I'm going to put the primer on with a new brush, and here we go. This is the old brush as reference. It's solid, so not going to use that. I'm doing the edges first, and then I went ahead and put some tape down just to save myself some time. I know I'm going to probably touch the edges, but even with tape, you should try to limit the paint that goes down. So paint it as if there wasn't tape there. Well, not a professional painter, but it's primered, and I think we're good to go. We're going to do the outside, same thing, and then I probably paint the whole door, not just this one section, but the whole thing in a new coat of white. And this project will be done, not entirely done, because I have to fix the floor, right? I'm going to start painting in this white, and while I'm doing that, well, here is Mrs. Fatso. This is what I have to look at. She's making sure that I'm painting okay. So this is, oh yeah, sleep. Oh well, okay. Back to my painting over here. While I'm painting, she's changed positions because she's nice and relaxed. It's too much work going on over here. Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh, that's too much. Yeah, that's too much. Too much. First coat is done. It's dark. It's dusk. It's not dark, but I need to do it, and so tomorrow I'll see it in light and see if we'll probably do another coat just to be sure. But here we are, and sure the cat is still here. She has the air on her, so she's loving it. Yeah, this is Janet, by the way. Before going with the final coat, I went with 80 grit sandpaper and a sander, and I hit both sides. It's a lot smoother. So now the second coat will go on much cleaner, and I will be done with this, and then I'm going to start another project. We're just sanding the rest of the door and painting it. Oh, one thing this video is doing is making me finish. So I usually leave like, oh, I'll get to that later, but I want to put closure to this. So I'm done painting, I'm done primering, I'm done taping, done sanding, done cleaning the floors.